You're with us here on Midcap Radar, 1:30 p.m. The market is up 38 odd points on the Nifty. The broader markets aren't doing very much. It's a quieter kind of day. Market breadth was firmly in favor of advances, but that's now absolutely split in the middle. Some 900 stocks are higher, 800 stocks are lower. And actually, it's also, come closer. The gap is not that much as compared to where it was 2 or 3 hours back. So that's essentially the picture. It's stock specific, and that's what we're going to do here over the next 30 minutes. With me, my colleague Anisha. Hi, Anisha.
Hi, Prashant. Good afternoon. Well, yes, it's pretty much flat when it comes to the markets, but some of the stocks are moving higher. For example, BPCL has gained quite a bit in the last few minutes. There are reports suggesting that the government is likely to meet the bankers to discuss divestment tomorrow, and perhaps that's the reason the stock has moved higher. From the oil and gas space, even IOC is moving higher. So in the last 2 minutes, that has moved out of the red territory and moved into the green. On the flip side, however, Bharti Infratel is coming under a bit of pressure, and auto names like M&M, Tata Motors have lost some steam and are now trading in the red territory. But we'll do one thing, we'll start up with the top headlines. Nifty holds above the 12,000 mark after hitting a fresh all-time high. Yesterday's volatility likely to pick up ahead of the F&O expiry tomorrow.
Yes Bank surges ahead of its board meeting this Friday for capital raising purposes. Sources tell CNBC-TV18 that the deadline for binding bids ends today.
US FDA issues 4 observations to Cipla's Patal Ganga unit. Company says no observations are repeat or data integrity related. On the other hand, Biocon and Mylan's supplementary application for pegfilgrastim gets FDA nod from the new biologics manufacturing facility in Bengaluru.
L&T slips as the street fears that the Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail project is at a risk of getting stalled with the new government in Maharashtra. A Macquarie note says L&T was a front-runner to bag the high-speed rail contract.
CNBC-TV18 Newsbreak confirmed the 15th Finance Commission's term has been extended for 1 year, will submit its first report for FY21. Final reports to cover FY22 to FY26.
Okay, so that's basically the headlines. We'll just quickly take a look at what Europe is doing. I mean, the first rates which are coming through, and then we'll bring in our technical expert to give you some trading ideas. It's positive. The start is in the green. DAX is up a third plus. FTSE 100 is up a third. And you've got the CAC 40, the French market, which is up about 0.25% at this point in time. So it's green. So that's the broad takeaway. We'll sort of come back to this and do a quick check about 10-15 minutes into the session. Okay, let's welcome in Aditya Agarwal of Yes Securities for a quick technical check. Near term, what should you be doing? Are there any trades available? Aditya, welcome to the show. What would you say?
Thank you, Prashant, for having me. So as far as Nifty is concerned, it's consolidating. Yesterday it made a dash towards 12,000 mark. It tested 12,000 and from there it recovered in trade today. My sense is market will consolidate for a couple of trading sessions. Tomorrow we have an expiry, all important expiry. So probably 12,000 should hold on the downside. On the upside, 12,100 to about 12,130 will act as a resistance for the time being. Next week, probably we might just see Nifty inching towards level of 12,200. So I would recommend a long trade closer to about 12,000. Initiate a long trade on the index closer to about 12,000 with a stop loss at 11,900 for targets of 12,200, which should be met in like a couple of weeks' time.
Okay.
As far as, yeah.
Okay, so markets to consolidate, but in terms of the stock-specific action, what are you strategizing?
So I've got a buy recommendation on Kotak Mahindra Bank. It's on the verge of a breakout from a falling wedge pattern. The neckline is placed somewhere around 1630. It's almost there now. 1622. It's trading at the high point of the day. So moment it breaks out of 1630, my sense is stock will inch higher to levels of 1685 to about 1700 in the coming trading times. Or new all-time high is very much possible on Kotak Mahindra Bank. Stop loss can be placed at 1570. The second stock recommendation is a short recommendation on REC. Stock has broken down from a trendline support and it's trading weak on a day when markets are trading on a positive territory. Target 128 with a stop loss at 139. One can go short on REC.
Okay, Kotak is a buy and REC is a sell. Those are two trading ideas. Any thoughts on the metal names? Are they still broadly in an uptrend? you would say?
Oh yes. So Prashant, if you take a look at the trend of the metal stocks earlier, any rise led to sell-off in the metal names, be it a JSW Steel or a Hindalco or a Tata Steel. But of late, all corrections are witnessing buying. So there's a trend reversal as far as the metal index is concerned. And within the metal index, the top picks would be JSW Steel and Tata Steel, followed by a Hindalco. So Tata Steel, I'm looking at a target of 440 to about 450. On the Hindalco, anywhere in the range of about 200. On the upside, about 208 to about 210 should be possible in the coming trading weeks. So go out, take long positions in metals. There is a trend reversal for sure, which should favor the bulls in the coming trading weeks.
Okay, Aditya, thank you so much for joining us with a technical perspective. But moving on and talking about the top Nifty gainer, and that is Yes Bank. Now, this after the bank announced board meeting on November 29th to finalize capital raising plan. Nisha has been tracking this story very closely, so let's go across to her for the latest. Nisha, good afternoon, over to you.
Good afternoon, Anisha. Yes, this is going to be a very, very positive development, and that's what is reflective on the stock as well. On 29th of November is when the board is going to take a decision on the final capital raising plan of $1.2 billion. Now, remember that sources with direct knowledge have shared with us that over the last few months, the management of the company, the bank, as well as the financial advisors to them have been tirelessly working and speaking to a whole host of investors, which include the HNIs, the financial investors like FIIs, DIIs, even private equity funds and many other family offices as well. So they are likely to have a clutch of investors along with one big investor as one not owning more than 20% stake in the company, likely to present the proposal. Now that deadline for giving the term sheet ends today on 27th of November. It's going to be very, very crucial for them. What I also gather is that most of the investors are working with a 2-week average price for this particular transaction to happen as per SEBI's formula, because 6 months is going to be on a much higher level. So it could be close to about 70 rupees or so. Now you will remember, as of today, they have only one term sheet which is binding in nature, which we had earlier reported about, which is SPGP Holdings, backed by the Canadian Family Office. So it's going to be a very, very crucial session of trade for the next few days for Yes Bank.
All right, thanks very much, Nisha, for that. I just want to quickly highlight some flashes at the bottom of the screen. This is essentially coming in from the Ministry of Statistics to the Lok Sabha. So some comments being put on the record. 360 infrastructure projects are showing cost overruns, and the overall cost overrun is 3.88 lakh crores as of June 2019. As on the 1st of September 2019, a total of 1,608 projects are being monitored by the ministry. 550 infrastructure projects are running behind original project implementation schedule. So these are some numbers being shared with the Parliament at this point in time. There's lots of stuff coming through from the Parliament, and we'll come back to that in a bit. The Defence Minister already also, by the way, sharing the order book of defence companies as of, the latest order book as of today. So, that I guess should also be of some interest, and we'll come back to that in a bit. But let's stick with news flow which came earlier for now. Biocon is buzzing in trade. The stock is up almost about 5%. It's in the back of the US FDA's approval for pegfilgrastims application. Ekta is here to take us through the details and why this is important. Ekta.
Well, the news with regards to pegfilgrastim and Biocon is that the US FDA has approved Biocon and Mylan's supplemental application for pegfilgrastim. So what that means is that there is a new manufacturing facility which manufactures biologics for Biocon, and they have received approval to be able to manufacture pegfilgrastim from there. Remember that the company has already been selling pegfilgrastim, which is a biosimilar, cancer biosimilar in the US markets since July 2018, and that's been manufactured previously or is currently being manufactured at the Bangalore facility. So this would be an incremental expansion or an incremental amount of production of pegfilgrastim, which can now take place at this facility as well. It's also a reaffirmation in a certain way that the US FDA has given its go-ahead to another plant.
Thank you, Ekta, for that. But with that, we slip into a very short break. Moody's has actually put BPCL's rating on review for downgrade due to government stake sale plans. We'll discuss this more with Vikas Halan.